And lesson 17 is an assessment, and it's the last one for this actual first part of the unit, so it's a pretty big one. So the requirements for this, let me zoom this in, are quite extensive. So you're going to create a digital interactive card to share with someone. I don't care what reason you're giving them this card. You might even want to make a card for some, if you look up like daily holidays or celebrations calendar. There's some weird holidays if you look up coming up, all sorts of like Eat Country Ham Month, National Pizza Month. So you can do something silly like that. It doesn't have to be something super serious. But here are the requirements for the card. It needs a background drawn using at least 3 shapes. It must have at least 3 sprites, at least 3 different sprite properties updated in the draw loop, so X, Y, rotation, or scale. It needs to respond to both keyboard and mouse input. Multiple conditionals inside the draw loop that control the flow of the card, so like if and if-else blocks. It must use at least one variable that's updated during the program, and at least that one variable should use the counter pattern, so the variable or a sprite property. So you could use like sprite.x equals sprite.x plus 1 if you were moving something around to meet this need. And then text on the card explaining how to interact with it. You are going to double click and do the drawing and sketch out your idea for your card in here so you have a good solid plan. You do not need the locations in here. I can actually take those out for you. You do not have to be that detailed with your planning. And then I would like you to plan out each of your sprites. So give it a name. Tell me what the image looks like, and then what property you will be changing. So for example, if you were doing a birthday card and you had a cake that you were going to move around with the arrow keys, tell me that the X and the Y are going to change with the arrow keys. I want to know what you're going to update. Then I want you to talk about the interactions. So I want to know if you're looking at if, else, if, or an else, the condition you're checking, and what's going to happen. So for example, if mouse left button down, make something rotate. So you'll do for each of those. And then you can see the rubric. It needs to exceed these requirements. It's a lot of requirements. This is a hard one to get an A on. It needs to work. You need to fill out the sheet fully. And then you must have multiple keys and mouse input in a sophisticated way that makes sense. That's going to be an A for the input using the key and the mouse. You're going to be coding this in, oops, cancel, I didn't mean to do that. You are going to code this in 17. And 17, just like every other assessment, is going to walk you through step by step in your project work. And there are examples of cards, and I'm going to show you those in class. And I will maybe post them for you to see as well. So it's going to talk about laying out your background, putting in your draw loop, adding your sprites, adding your user input, so your mouse and your keyboard functions, anything else that you want to put in there, and then any finishing touches. You do need to have text in here. It says that you might want it. I want text in there that explains how to interact with the card. And there is a little reflection piece on here that you can fill out. You don't have to, that's fine. So that's it. That is this one. You're going to have 3 class periods to work on this.